Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Murphy's Market Minute with Elliot Elmanson.
And Nathaniel Vossman.
It is July 18th, midday Friday. So the market still have a little bit of time to mess around, but we're just going to go through the week in review. It's been a pretty good week, I think, all the way around. It's very positive for U.S. equities with most major indexes posting gains. We had strong corporate earnings, reassuring economic data and policy developments that I think bolstered investor sentiment, right? I think the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq both notched fresh record highs.
Yep.
Right? Mostly driven by tech and consumer sectors. I don't think anybody's seen any of the negative things from tariffs occur, but that continues, I think, to be a concern. Possibly. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we keep hearing that it's going to be a concern. I know this week, though, the PPI, so that's the producer price index, so wholesale inflation was less than expected. It was up 0% month over month. And so that was actually below expectations.
Yeah.
And so you would think that any inflation would show up there primarily and then later on in consumer, like the CPI.
Yep. Yeah, and the volatility index or the fear index, VIX, is down to 17, which is pretty low. And even with the new 30% duties on U.S. and Mexico that were announced by Trump, nobody seemed to care. We had robust retail sales.
Yeah, that beat expectations.
Yep. Low jobless claims, 221. 89% of all Fortune 500 companies beat expectations who reported. That's a pretty big deal.
Pretty solid, for sure.
And that was, particularly in the consumer discretionary and the health sectors. And then you had some cool things happen. Bitcoin at one point was at 120, 121. Did it hit 121?
I think it definitely hit 121. It was over 120 for a decent chunk of time.
Yeah.
So I don't think it hit 121 quite. I'm not sure, but
I don't think it did. I don't think it did either. But I know it went over 120.
Oh yeah.
And President Trump signed the very first ever, I wouldn't say it's comprehensive, but a pretty significant bill called the Genius Act.
Yeah, first ever piece of crypto legislation.
Yeah, and so that established the regulatory framework for stablecoins, which you want to explain. Stablecoins, anybody?
Yeah. It's basically just like cryptocurrency that is tied to the U.S. dollar in this case. So, like you see like a Bitcoin or other cryptos, and they go up or down in value, whereas these are just tied to it, so it's always worth $1.
Yeah.
And with this Genius Act, it basically gives more legitimacy to it because now like these institutions that create these stable coins have to have like reserves, like 1-to-1 reserves. So, if there's $5 billion worth of the stable coin out there, there's got to be $5 billion
of cash.
Yeah.
Of U.S. dollars.
Yeah. So it's a bullish thing for crypto, and it's the first piece of legislation. There's a couple more that are coming, but I think it's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. The Clarity Act and then the Anti-CBDC Act also advanced. So Ethereum jumped 6%. The total crypto market cap hit $4 trillion.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it's about the size of NVIDIA, which is massive.
Yeah. Governor Waller, the chairman of the Fed, called again for reduced interest rates. And so, which I think is really good. I think they're late to do it. I think they need to do it. I think it would really just set everything on fire in a good way.
Definitely.
And so we'll see if any of his pressure impacts Chairman Powell's decisions.
Probably not.
I doubt it.
No.
But he's kind of a heavyweight in this space.
Yeah.
He orchestrated the soft landing. And he thinks that we should drop from 4.25 to 4.5 down to 3. And he blew off tariff-driven inflation. So I think it's good he's putting some pressure there.
Yeah, it's like it's still like good indicator. Like it's a good sign. I mean, even if they don't cut rates this month, it definitely would increase the likelihood, later on in September. So
Yeah. Yeah. So everything continues to go up. Everything continues to look strong. Do you see any cracks or weaknesses anywhere?
no, I mean all the data looks pretty strong. I mean the inflation is continually cooler than expected, and the unemployment's pretty solid, like the jobless claims. So the economy itself is pretty strong, and then from there it's just a matter of this continuing thing with tariffs. It'll probably continue to be a whole lot of nothing, just as it has been pretty much the whole year.
Well, and I don't know that. Well, I guess it would depend on what aspect of it you're saying is nothing. Because I was reading something that previous to these tariffs, we were like negative $2 billion. Now we're positive $3 billion a month, or something like that. And
On what?
In regards to the inflow from tariffs, I need to go back to
Like the net inflow.
yeah. And so I mean, obviously it's pennies, and I hate to say billions or pennies.
Tariff revenue.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing. I mean,
But I think any little incremental step in the right direction
it's supposed
in
to be
regards to shrinking the government and increasing revenue to the government in a way that clearly is not being felt by the American people is a great thing.
I mean, and it is, I would say, more than pennies because hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, I know this year alone we've already hit 100 billion,
Yeah.
and that's just with mostly just a universal 10%.
Yeah. So it's just kind of neat to see that so far all the impacts and the effects of things seem to be really positive. And I think it's really setting us up with a solid foundation moving forward. I think the stock market's going to continue to climb. There's no reason for it not to. The economy is performing well. Middle class incomes in a lot of good sectors are rising. And what more can you want?
Yeah, it's all pretty good news.
Yeah. So if you guys have any specific topics that you want us to research and talk about, feel free to email us about them. Other than that, it's just a pretty freaking good week.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
have a wonderful weekend. And until next week, this is Elliot
Nathaniel.
signing off.